Hello, guys and girls. Welcome back to the studio. Welcome to the Mattolina Radio Podcast. I haven't done a podcast in decades, man, because I've been stressed out. A lot of things been happening with the wars. The Cold War is over, so we're back to peacetime. We're about to make a podcast. So right now it's 2:39 hours right now in the morning. We speak military time because it's superior, So today's podcast is gonna be about. It's about I gotta make another video, update the old podcast about the Mattolina situation. How I thought that council would be released in 2023. How I thought it was gonna be a failure. But yeah, what's interesting is that the technology of Mattolina has changed a lot. And I gotta say, I've been getting a lot of subscribers on my channel. It's crazy. I have 450 currently on subscribers on YouTube. So the question is, we gotta think about is what would happen next 100 years. So in this podcast, talk about. We're going to talk about predictions, all that stuff, about a lot of things in the markets, how money, energy, all that stuff. But most importantly, I noticed that there's a shift in reality. And I realized we're in a simulation, ladies and gentlemen. I know, things are different. I'm a little sleepy a little bit because, I didn't sleep last night. I stayed up all night. But the question is, we got to think about is what is the future of Mattolina? Because Mattolina have been doing a lot, man. I don't know what they're doing, but it's concerning. So we just we gotta figure that out. So hopefully it's still recording. It is recording still. So it is recording, I think it's still recording. Yeah, it's still recording. So the question we gotta think about is what is the future of Mattolina? Now, obviously Mattolina has went through a lot personally with his business. He's been going through a lot with his business, and obviously, Google was saying he was making malware, but there was no malware on the website, which is very interesting to think about. So the question we gotta think about, right? Is what is going on with Mattolina. Now, obviously, we know Nikita and Noshi copied Mattolina with the logo, and even Google's been copying Matthew with the Matthew Vega name. But the question we got to think about is, what is Google doing with Mattolina? What is the future of Mattolina? And I got to say, it's a very interesting topic, because between age verification on YouTube, age verification on the internet, between age verification devices, we have no idea. The market's been unpredictable. The stock market, it's a bull market right now. It's a bull market right now with Mattolina. The stock of Mattolina has been up by 4%. The stock of Mattolina stock has been up by 80%. So the stock of Mattolina is doing well. But age verification on YouTube is very concerning, and the age verification on the internet and the future of the internet. Now, we don't know. Maybe Mattolina makes a comeback, and then maybe the internet becomes a very powerful tool again, and people love the internet again, and Mattolina becomes famous, where it's going to be exclusively on the internet, where the internet makes a comeback, everyone loves the internet, and you can't watch Mattolina offline. You got to use the internet to use Mattolina. So I think that's going to be the future. I don't know. We know Saudi Arabia is the future, obviously, too, which is just But yeah, it's kind of crazy that, we came from a point that we think the internet is a crappy thing, and that we think the internet is bad, and we think the internet is awful, and we believe that no offline is new luxury, which is kind of weird thing to say about. And we think that being offline is better than being online. It's kind of crazy how the world evolved. Back then, when I was growing up, internet was pretty cool. When I was growing up back in the 80s and 90s and 2002 and even 2010s, being on social media and being on internet was pretty cool. And the fact that we become a society where we hate the internet and we hate all that stuff, it's kind of crazy. I really hope that the internet makes a comeback. Maybe this will be less. If there's less, the hands solve this issue. If there was less censorship, if reality was less censorship, then now, if the internet was less censorship than reality, because let me be honest, when I go to Manhattan, there's a lot of hot spots in Manhattan. There's a lot of hot girls that I will bang with them, and there's no censorship. What's the point of using the internet if they go censor my videos? You know what I'm saying? What's the point of internet if Google's going to say they make a malware on the website? What is the point? You know what I'm saying? What is the point of using the internet? And I see why people don't use the internet, because they censor this. It's like cable television. So, while I'm in the real world, when in reality, they don't track you as much. And also on top of that, the internet, back then, there was less censorship now. So we got to think about that, too. And that's probably one of the reasons why the internet's kind of sucked now and people are not using it. Because first of all, they're tracking you. And second of all, it's not the same. As I can say, internet is a tool. It's not bad. It's a tool. But I do believe the internet may make a comeback. Once the internet becomes very crappy to the point where it's unusable, I do believe the internet will make a comeback eventually. That's my takes on it. There's no in hell the internet's going to be shit. Beep! have to curse a little bit, not get to podcast. But I do believe internet is not going to be shittier anymore. I think it's going to be very good content. I do believe internet made back a comeback. Where Mattolina, the stock has been up where Mattolina so far as the bull market so far. It's been doing some well. So I do think that Mattolina made like a comeback. Now the question that I think about, right? If Mattolina makes a console in 2026, right, or 2025, so obviously Mattolina been using free software, been using open source software, but they do use proprietary something like that, like Apple devices and Google. But the question is, like, will Mattolina fully open? Is Mattolina go back to proprietary software, or will Mattolina goes to use open source software? That's the question we got to think. I mean, they use Linux, but the Linux broke down. Our Linux broke down. So they use a lot of free software because they realize proprietary software kind of suck. So the question is, like, what is Mattolina doing? Like, what are they doing? Obviously, we know they got banned from Chase Bank. The stock went down 1 point, went into it was crappy. And I made lots of podcasts about how Mattolina's stock, how it was terrible. It was really garbage. And I gotta say, Mattolina has been a weird place, man. Like, it's been a weird year. Like, Mattolina has been doing his own thing. Like, the fact that Mattolina's main website was shut down because of malware, even though there's no malware on the website, it's kind of interesting to think about. And I don't know. I just don't see making music with Mattolina as a financial ramification for a company to make money or be on a SNAP benefit. I don't see that to be the future. Now, obviously, if YouTube blows up, if he gets to and now on top of it, there's $8,000 watch hour, which is scary, crazy to think about, is that now it's getting harder and harder to become monetized on YouTube. Now, the question is, right, if Mattolina invest in AI, which they're not doing AI. I mean, they use AI, but they just they kind of make it human made. If Mattolina, first of all, works at Google, or let's say Google acquires Mattolina for $1 billion or $1 million, let's say Mattolina gets acquired by Google as a media company, the stocks go up about 100%, obviously. Now the question is, well, we're mad right now is Google saying that Mattolina making malware. So would that actually make Mattolina cool again, where that propaganda or that fake news propaganda will make Mattolina more popular? Is bad equals cool? We got to find out. Now, it's a very interesting scenario. Or is Mattolina predicting things, or he's being psychic, or he's like right in reality? We don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, Google's been on some different shit, and this will be on Spotify, honestly. But Google be on some different shit. I don't know what's going on with Google. Google's saying like I'm making malware. There's no malware on the website, so I shut up 2 of my websites down. I have no idea what's going on with Google. The products just don't work. So it's just something to think about. But here's a question we gotta think about, right? If Google's saying there's malware on the website and there's no malware, so will that make Mattolina more popular to use or more to use? I don't know, man. I have no idea. Like, they say bad is cool, Matthew's bad, so let's ban his account, make it cool. I don't know what's going on with Nikita and Yoshi. Maybe she's mad at me because I broke up with her. I have no idea. So that's the thing we gotta think about. And the question you gotta think about is like, okay, if Matthew's the future, right? Sir Arabia is the future, with this crazy homeless guy was like, oh, Sir Arabia's the future. Then what? I have no idea, Google. I don't know, Nikita. I don't know. My wife is like pissed off at me, I guess, for not paying child support. I have no idea, though. I don't know. So it's something to think about. But this is obviously comedic. I don't know how this is supposed to be funny. I don't know, man. But it's just interesting, though. But, like, TuneCore's been censoring my videos. It's all bullshit. It's all fake news. But I don't know. But, Ojo Recital. But it's kind of crazy that, like, the future of Mattolina is, like, all this network and all that stuff. And I don't know the future. I don't know the future. I just don't know the future. I don't know the future of Mattolina. Now, let's say they make a console in 2027, which is delayed, or 2030, which should be old. It'll be 30 years old. Or let's say they release a console in 2027 or 2028. I'll say 2027, earliest 2028. Okay, if they go to Saudi Arabia, let's say in 2030. Now, here's the thing. They'll be in their 30s, probably in 2032. So the question is, right, if Mattolina will be successful, right, if Mattolina becomes successful, when then? When he's 40 years old, if he's old, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing, man. I don't know what they're doing, man. Even Cody Sanchez is like, Mattolina's not making money, business failing. It's like, yeah, I know. Nikita's hot. I'm just beep, 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 beep. You're a billionaire. Yeah. And she's married, though. That's Nikita M. Joshi hot. Get it, man. I don't know. I'm joking, though. But it's kind of crazy that the future of Mattolina, I don't know the future of Mattolina. I don't know. I mean, they became more independent. They became more on themselves. They began to use small scale technology because obviously organization technology can change. Now, and they may go back to proprietary software, but they've been using free software because it's more reliable than proprietary software. So the question is, we got to think about, right? If Mattolina is the future, if Mattolina is like the Wii U again, like the Wii U or the Virtual Boy or the Wii U again, so what is the future? Now I don't know. I've been doing YouTube. I've been investigating Mattolina. I'm the shareholder. I'm one of the shareholders of the company, Mattolina LLC, and I gotta say, Mattolina has been on some, you know, I don't know. But I do think one thing for sure. The future, if they release the console, if they release the next gen Mattolina OS DOS, supposed rumors, these are just rumors. The new console calls Mattolina OS DOS, which is Mattolina OS, the second version of Mattolina OS 2. If they release it in 2027, right? Obviously the computer broke down, I gotta get a new computer. If they release Mattolina OS DOS in 2027, then I think they'll be okay. I mean, or 2028, they'll be okay. Now, if they release in 2030 or 2042, there will be grandma, old. They'll be old, so I don't think that's going to work, too. I don't think that's sustainable for a console. So the question we got to think about, right? I don't know the future of Mattolina, I don't know. But if they release a console in 2027, then this should be fine. If they release in 2032, they're screwed. They'll be in 30s, they're old, and, the white woman will be old. It'll be a disaster. Now, obviously, originally the Mattolina OS DOS was supposed to release in 2023. But they didn't release anything because the problem was, they were going through a war, spiritual war. The tax laws were going to wars, and they were funding the wars, the Mattolina War. So I don't know, man. I just don't know the future of Mattolina. Now, obviously, Saudi Arabia is the future. Oh, you go to Saudi Arabia, it's the future. Okay, what is he going to do in Saudi Arabia? He's a black guy, typically. So what the he's going to do in Saudi Arabia, man? It just don't make sense to me. Oil companies, he's going to make oil, make money for oil companies. Yeah, but Saudi Ferry makes oil money. It's for your oil, I don't know. It's just a weird console, man. I don't know. Mattolina's be on different. Beep. Gets unbanned from Google Play Books. Let's say Nikita New Jersey dates Matthew, and eventually he gets his account back. I don't know, he gets Chase accounts back, and let's say everything becomes normal. Okay, I don't know, man. I just don't know. It's just kind of crazy how between the war, the 2025 war, I'm surprised Mattolina is still running as a company. I'm actually surprised, man, because even though it went through that spiritual war in 2023 and 2024, that was a waste of tax dollars. That was bunch of tax dollars, waste of the war. And I gotta say, it's kind of crazy to think about. Now I don't know. Maybe Mattolina go to Saudi Arabia. Maybe he gets his Linux laptops to fix all that stuff. But I don't see making music for Mattolina is sustainable, or beyond SNAP benefits, it's sustainable for a company to make money. I don't see it. But who knows, man? I don't know. But I've been cursing this all pockets, not good, not for kids. But I just gotta think about, what the future of Mattolina would be basically open source software, proprietary software. I don't know, man. I just don't know. It's kind of crazy that Project Totality was making him he's a devil, and so would that make Mattolina look cool? Would make Mattolina look cool? I don't know. But something to think about, though. Yeah, I don't know. And this is a random podcast, but it's just something to think about. Stock has been up by 4%. It's been doing good. The stock has been up by 4%. The share of the company has been doing well. The shareholders have been happy with the company. But the fact that his main website was shut down because of malware, but there was no malware in it. Even Spectrum too, they were he's making malware. I don't get it, man. I don't know what's going on with Mattolina. I have no idea. Are they actually making malware and hacking people? If that's the case, then they should be charged for hacking and cybercrimes. But if they're not making malware, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I don't know how to have that happen. They're making products that don't work. So I have no idea what they're going on with Mattolina. Now, is Mattolina paying taxes? Yes, he is. He is paying taxes. But if he doesn't pay taxes, I don't know. It's something to think about. And on top of the Google Business was shut down, the Google My Business was shut down. To re-verify the Google Business. So I don't know, man. I just don't know. Yeah, I just don't know what's going on with Mattolina. I mean, Mattolina's been through a lot, man. Like, guys, you can see, it was like the Wii U. Mattolina's like the Wii U. It was a rough, man. It was rough. It was the most misunderstood console in the lineup. And we look back at Mattolina. Mattolina was basically like the Wii U, man. It was a misunderstood console for a long time. And I gotta say, like, I mean, I don't know, man. I have no idea what's going on with Mattolina. And it's kind of crazy to think about that. Mattolina was basically the Wii U. So yeah, I don't know. Something to think about. Maybe friends come back to Mattolina. Maybe he's gonna get the third person support. You know, Nikita. Maybe Nikita and Amir should maybe Big Matthew again. I don't know, man. I have no idea what's going on with Google either. Like, just been weird things. Nintendo and Mattolina. And Nintendo's been banned of accounts for no reason, so we know that. But I don't know what's going on with Mattolina. Mattolina's like Nintendo Wii U again. I swear to God. I don't know. I just don't know. like Mattolina's kind of an idiot for doing it, but I don't know. So, something to think about. But let's get to rumors. The first rumor is about Saudi Arabia. Now, obviously, this is a recent new rumor from Psychics. The Saudi Arabia rumor is the rumor, and also rumor that he's going to date a hot white girl in the future. Now, these rumors are interesting because, I mean, we remember the rumors back in 2023, they were, in 2022, they were so outdated. The rumors are outdated. So, the rumors of Saudi Arabia and media companies, we got what you post on YouTube and the media companies, is very interesting because the rumors, it makes it seem like the console is going to be very more powerful than the CPU and kind of very more powerful in the previous generation. The Mattolina OS DOS will be more powerful than the Google Play console. It's kind of crazy to think about. It's going to be way more powerful than the Google and all that stuff. Now, obviously, since the Google's been shutting down his website for malware, there's no malware in it, I don't know. So, is Mattolina predicting the future? I don't know. So it's going to think about. Now, in this podcast, I'm talking about the Mattolina OS DOS. Now, Mattolina OS DOS is a new console that's working out for new competition. I just don't know what's going on with the console. But it's something to think about. Yeah, Mattolina, I don't know what's going on with Mattolina. I don't know. Mattolina's on different things. The future Mattolina. Now, obviously, Mattolina OS DOS is coming. The store is back up, obviously. You know, granted, it didn't work, but it works now. So, I don't know. I just don't know. I know that they're doing better now with the console. Like the hygiene just, they've been using small-scale technologies to survive. Because the organization just sucked now. So, they've been using small-scale technology to survive. So, it's something to think about. I don't know. Would they go back to the woods? Would they go back to some old school technology, small scale technology? Would they use dinosaur technology to survive? I just don't see small scale technology as a sustainable thing in the future. Now, obviously, small scale technology is more reliable than the organization technology, but I just don't know. I just don't know what Mattolina is doing. I don't know. I just don't know. Priyanka Ragalav, Nikita knows she's still there, but it's just, I don't know, man. The gold rush of working for Google is outdated, or being acquired by Google is outdated. So I don't know. Maybe Google acquires Mattolina, and then they fix up the website and say he's not making malware. I just don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like, maybe Nikita laughs at my videos, and then maybe I'm popular dater. I don't know who's dating Matthew. I don't know what's going on. We know maybe Nikita's married. I don't know. Maybe she left me because maybe she's mad at me. I just don't know. It's proprietary software. I don't know what's going on with Google. I have to beep. Annoying. But yeah, it's just annoying though. That's the thing. It's just very annoying though. I don't know the future about Alina, so it's something to think about. But here's the thing: in the future, as we continue, the podcast is not over. We'll continue the podcast. Something to think about. Is that, weird things have been happening with Mattolina. Now, I did censor the original podcast, so it's more censored now, which is very interesting. I did censor the video, which is good, and confirm, and it helps with confirming battery. So, I don't know what's going on, but it's just weird things have been happening with Mattolina. The fact that Google's making something, he's making malware, those don't making no malware, and I don't know, something to think about. Now, obviously, the stock has been up by Mattolina. Mattolina's stock has been up, which is pretty cool, which is pretty good. Stock has been up for Mattolina. It's pretty good. So everything's been pretty good. So I took a little break with the podcast where I haven't make a video. And so I paused the video a little bit. Took a little break of it. But something to think about. So I don't know the future of Mattolina. I don't know. Now, obviously, the rumor of going to Saudi Arabia is still in question. And also the rumors of going, be careful what you post on media companies, for Saudi Arabia. So I mean, something to think about. So maybe YouTube is his purpose. Now, obviously, his business is his purpose. But what's his purpose in business? I don't know. Something to think about. So it's something we gotta think about too. It's something we gotta answer in the future of business. Like, what is his purpose in business? I don't know. Now, obviously, I sense the podcast a little bit because it was R-rated. I do curse my videos a lot, which is not for kids, obviously. We're adult audience, we're grown men and grown women, but it's something to think about too. Now, obviously, the future of Mattolina, it's been interesting. They've been using smartwatches, but they've been investing in small-scale technology because the organization technology suck really bad. And they've been investing in small-scale technology because small-scale technology is reliable than organization technology. Now, obviously, they use AI. They use some type of organization technology, but they switch to small-scale technology because it's easier for small-scale communities. God forbid Mattolina collapse, they could get the schematics and fix the technology because obviously organization technology suck. That's what they use VLC, they use MP3 players, they use small-scale radio system, they use peer-to-peer communication. And I gotta say, it's been simple to fix compared to Wix. Wix is proprietary, it's organization technology, and it wasn't reliable. Google is organization technology, and it wasn't reliable, so I don't know to think about. Something to think about, too. Now, obviously, he's been contacted by extraterrestrials, and aliens been contacting him for his purpose of business, which is very interesting to think about. So, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's going to be future Mattolina. But something to think about, too. Will Mattolina become famous on YouTube? Will Mattolina become famous for software, or should be known for comedy? I don't know. So something to think about too. On top of that too, so I don't know. It's something to think about too. Like we know that in 2022 was a crappy year for Mattolina, and even 2023 was a World War II. Again, 2025 was a World War II, and 2026 has been doing well. 2026 has been doing well. So something to think about. I think it's good for the podcast. I know it was a very short, kind of long podcast, a little bit. About to go to sleep, have a good time. But I think it's a good podcast. Love you guys. Stay safe out there, and peace.